Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, any questions, clarifications, or can we go ahead? We saw that Guna Guneshu Vartante, that was the main thrust of last time's class. Okay, that I, as Sachidananda Atma, don't do anything. Ahankara, now what is Ahankara? A notion of yourself. Ahankara is a pure self-judgment. Okay, there is no entity called Ahankara. You create an apparent false entity. Taking the body, mind, etc. as yourself. It's a purely notional, conceptual entity. It does not have the same degree of reality as your body. Your body has a functional reality. The Ahankara doesn't have, but it takes care of all the functions for you. Okay. Yeah. It is like flat earth, very useful. With all the BMC digging up everything, imagine you are walking on a round earth, what will it be? It is flat and it is very convenient it being flat, but it doesn't exist. There is no flat earth. There is only a round earth. So it's purely conceptual, the Ahankara. Okay. Now, you are seeking the knowledge. Knowledge takes time. Day by day exposure. Week by week. It takes some time. How long? I can't say. Okay. One class may be enough. 100 classes plus may be required. So when this is the case, how do I live? Hey, this is the most important thing, yaar. Sab kuch chhod do. Yeah, if you are ready for it, fine. Two things: sufficient emotional maturity for it, and sufficient lack of responsibilities. Because sometimes responsibilities are there, you have to take care of certain things. Yeah. So, with that, you come for the knowledge. So, you are living a life. When you are living a life, you are in society. Things to be taken care of. Forget students, even teachers and sadhus who are living in society, a lot of things to be taken care of. Yeah, a lot of things to be taken care of. Yeah. It is not that the sadhu's house runs by itself. Sometimes it looks like that when you look at my house. Because the maid runs it. She does what she wants and goes. Certain things you have to do, take care of. Okay. Yeah. Low priority areas. That's okay for a sadhu, but may not be okay for everyone. Yeah. Therefore, how do you live a life? So, only two ways of living. Either you live as a sannyasi or you live as a karma yogi. Yeah. Remember, two lifestyles. This has to be very, very clear. Somebody sent me a message. Swamiji, is there any good book? It's a friend of mine. Is there any good book of the 18 yogas that the Gita talks about? I said, what? 18 yogas? Because each chapter is a yoga. There the word yoga means chapter or topic. So the chapter or topic of Arjuna's grief. So what yoga are you going to do with that? Discover your inner sorrow. I can make up something if you want to. Yeah. Forget 18 yogas. 4 yogas are not there. Even the 4 yogas, the famous 4 yogas are not there. 2 lifestyles. Sannyasa or karma yoga. What do you want? Pursuing the truth to the exclusion of everything else, or pursuing the truth to the inclusion of everything else? What do you want? Bhakti, Hatha Yoga, etc. has a place in your life. Of course, it has a place. To be a good Karma Yogi, you need Bhakti. To be a sannyasi, naturally there is a lot of Bhakti. Okay. Yoga, if you want to take care of health, do it. Yeah. No, Swamiji, for me the whole sadhana, yoga is a big sadhana for me. Okay, fine. Though if you expect to get realization by standing on your head, it won't happen, okay. Or sitting with your eyes closed and chanting Om, it won't happen. Okay. But even if you are the full-time yogi, what is your lifestyle about? Only yoga or your family, things like that? No, only yoga, nothing else. I stay in a small place and sannyasa lifestyle, even though you may not have taken the robes. No, I too take a few other things. Then Karma Yoga lifestyle. Bhakti also same way. Only bhakti activity? No, I have other things also. So either sannyasa or Karma Yoga lifestyle. Only two lifestyles. Nothing else. He doesn't call it yoga. He calls it lifestyles. Nishtha. Two nishtas. Nishtha means a lifestyle. A committed lifestyle is called a nishtha. So two lifestyles. Take your pick. Take your pick. And as I said, Karma Yoga is not optional. Okay, if you want to know the truth, Karma Yoga is not optional. And sannyasa is optional, whether you want to take sannyasa or not. Sannyasa is fast tracking the growth. So if you are ready for it, fine. And you want to do it, fine. Yeah. So, coming back to the topic, he says that Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya dhyatma chetasaha nirashi nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigatas jvaraha. What is the Karma Yoga lifestyle? This is it. He says, Mai meaning Ishvare. Remember, whether you believe Krishna is Ishvara or not, that Krishna was also a historical figure we saw in the Vedic Wisdom Festival, with evidences from geography and history and human population studies, everything coming into it. So that historical figure was Ishvara or not is maybe a belief. You are welcome to believe what you want. But the standpoint in the Gita is Ishvara and Krishna is one and the same. So that is how the presentation is. So Mayi Ishvare Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya, renouncing all your actions in me. How is that done? Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. To recognize. See, two ways of doing this. One is the simple way when you do it as a beginner. All actions, Lord, I am offering it to you. You actually make a conscious offering. Or you discover that without Ishvara, not a single action is possible. I am talking now. This talking is possible only because of the structure of my voice box, which evolved in this particular manner under Ishvara's order of evolution. This way of talking is possible because mind is informed with the knowledge that has come from Ishvara. Okay. And you are listening to all this across thousands of miles. Like someone is from Germany here, someone is from Australia. So this is possible because of the technology developed again by the principles that is there in the creation of Ishvara. So to recognize that everything I am doing is by Ishvara's grace. Once you see that order, then your actions automatically stand offered. That pride and arrogance of doing is not there. Yeah. Why? Because without Ishvara, where am I? I don't exist. Therefore, Mayi Sanyasya, in that recognition, okay, Adhyatma Chetasa, he says, with your pursuit of spirituality. with your mind taken to the self. Okay. So this is equally applicable to the sannyasi. He has done it mentally, he has done it physically also. That's the only difference. Adhyatma chetasa. Okay. Then what? Nirashi nirmamo bhutva. Nirashi, hopeless. Okay. You manage your ashas. बड़ी हो या छोटी हो. It's a very popular song. छोटी सी आशा. Once upon a time. Yeah. So, whether the asha is choti or badi, you are working to fulfill them. Like Arjuna's asha was not a small asha. This fighting to establish dharma for a whole kingdom is at stake. Lakhs of lives are on the stake there. Yeah. This didn't come out in their presentation of the historicity of the Mahabharata war. People studying population studies noticed a dip in the population around that time. Why? Because 10% of the total available human beings were killed in that battle. Almost 18 lakhs died. So for a long time after that, and all were able-bodied men. So how many births will take place after that? Able-bodied men are not there. The children should be growing up, so that will take 10-15 years. So you can study a gap in the human population at that time. That is another way of saying, hey, it's a historical fact. Because major dip, not minor standard variations. Standard variations are fine. This is major dip. Okay. So, huge desire. Says, how do you become Nirashi then? If you are Nirashi, you won't fight that battle. Why am I putting all these people at risk? That is where Prasada Buddhi comes in. I have the desire, all right, but how do I neutralize that desire? I will act. Result is from the Lord. Anything that comes from the Lord is prasada. This is purely cultural attitude. But a little bit of there is there in any religion. No? Any religion. Even your Occidental religions from the West Asia, aggressive religions, even they have the concept, barakat, grace, etc. They call it all that. No? In fact, for a long time, until COVID time, I used to get prasad from Mecca. Every year, someone would get it for me. Samji will take it. Of course, they will accept it. It's prasad coming. You may think of Allah and have all your ideas about it. For me, that's another form of Ishvara. Fine. Acceptable. I used to get some dried fruits and that Zamzam water. So, prasada buddhi, anything that comes from the Lord in any form is prasada. Therefore, here, in life, my work is my action, that is my worship. Result is prasada. Action becomes worship because I offered it to the Lord. Anything you offer to the Lord is part of your worship only. The result is prasada. Nirashi, nirmamaha, a sense of mind. Mind temporarily, right now. What is really yours anyway? We fight over my wife, my child, my this thing, my. Really, what is mine? Really? My child? Your child? By an accident of birth, here. By the karma of birth, right now, yes. Last lifetime, what was it? For all you know, enemy, the way I see both of you fighting. Last lifetime, probably enemies fighting like cats and dogs now. Yeah, probably that's how it is. Yeah, there's a big karmic theory behind all that. Okay. Yeah. 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 So for right time now, okay. Nirmamatvam meaning, hey, don't take your roles too seriously. They're all roles that you're playing. Because all mind comes from the roles that you're playing, isn't it? The self-judgment. Yeah. In this role, you'll say, this is mine. No. Change the role. Yeah. Drop the role. Yeah. It happens. No? In India, it's very common. It's not all that uncommon. My son, this, that, I groomed him for business and he doesn't want to do this business. Mera naak katwa diya. I'll disown him. You can disown legally also. And in the West, children also can disown their parents to legally emancipate you. Yeah. Unfortunately, option is not available in India. No? Some of the youngsters will be thinking. It's a role. That's all. Don't take it too seriously. That's what it is, isn't it? It's just a role that you're playing. Yeah. Some roles are easy to drop, some roles are difficult to drop. Yeah. Yeah. Some roles are easy to play, some roles are difficult to play. Yeah. If you are a doctor, for example, difficult to drop that role. Even if you want to drop it, somebody will come to you. Yeah. You are at a party, you are going to have a nice time. Forget all your cases and this and that. And somebody meets you, oh, you're a doctor. Doctor, I have been to so many doctors, you know. I have had this back pain. And start. You come there to forget it, but this guy is starting that. So I advise all my doctor friends, carry your card, hand him over the card and say, meet me in my clinic. And by the way, my consultation is 5,000 rupees. Say that also. Nobody will come back also to disturb you. और क्या करेगा? Similarly, mama's role. Oh my God. In India, I think the most difficult role to drop is mama's role. Not in India, other places also. I heard statements Westerners making. Mama knows best. What mama knows best? You're talking about my work, mom. You don't even know what my work is about. Of course, our most important dialogue in every Hindi movie. मैं माँ हूँ. Most important line. The guy is the hulk of an inspector. Criminals are scared of him, but this lady will go and slap him and say, मैं माँ हूँ. Hey, roles. You're taking it too seriously. Yeah. So all these people who feel like that should go and look in the mirror every morning and say, I am not Jagan Janani, I am not Jagan Mata. That'll bring some perspective into it. Similarly, any role that holds you that strong, drop it, it's okay. Yeah. Even an army officer's role, they find it difficult to drop that role. That's why the transition from the army life to civilian life is difficult. But that is understandable. Why? That's a role that you're willing to die in, yeah. Come on. Yeah. Consciously to die in. You're trained to kill or die. Either you will kill and succeed or you will die and succeed. That's how it is. Therefore, that much of commitment, the role becomes too strong. But somewhere you have to learn to drop it. somewhere you have to learn to drop that role also. Yeah. And part of learning to drop it is when you find when they're mentioning Major General, after in the bracket they'll write retired. Means I was, but now I'm retired. So that's a process of actually dropping it. Even though really speaking, you're not supposed to put that word retired there. Because the post of Major General is not retired. You have retired. Yeah. So technically you're not supposed to put that. So any role that has made you, you will find it difficult to drop. But needs to be. You have to recognize that's just a role and drop it. Therefore, nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva. Take to this battle. Vigata jvaraha, without getting too hyper about it. The jvara there means, getting excited and hyper about it. I have to do this, I have to do this. Reva de, karega. Yeah. Guy holding an anti-tank missile in his hand. Tanks are coming. Come on, fire. He coolly fires. Relax, champ. All it takes is one shot. That is called Vigatas Jwara. Yeah. Vigata Jwara. My child is not well. His fever is going high. So, paracetamol diya hai na? Give it 15 minutes at least for the fever to come. No. How much is the fever? 104. Okay. Take the tub of water. Fill the tub with water. Tub with water. I did this way. Pick up the child and put in the tub of water. What are you doing? The child has got fever. 2 minutes, the fever will come down. That's the treatment they do in hospitals. In hospital, they'll add some ice cubes also along with it. If I had done that, she would have killed me. I knew her, how hyper she could be. Therefore, I didn't do that. Yeah. Because that, that being hyper about things, that's a good word. It's a slang word, but it's a good word. Being hyper about things. Being excited, overexcited about things. Yeah, we don't expect you to be a cold fish. No, that's not the idea. But don't be so excited that you'll miss doing what has to be done. Like, when I first came to Bombay, I used to attend other workshops that are happening in the city because I wanted to know what is happening. What are the stuff that is going on in the city? So I attended this workshop conducted by the United States Information Service. Worked in. So the trainer, they're asking, how do you all feel about it? Everyone saying, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I said, we just come for a workshop. What is there to be excited about it? So I said, I think I'm pretty cool about it. As though looking as though there's something wrong with me. It's a workshop. What is there to be get excited about? So, don't get hyper about things. Do what has to be done. Yeah. Let there be a cool, calm competency about you. Yeah, you want it. You want the end. Of course I want the end. Result is important to me. That's why I'm doing all the actions to the best of my ability. Don't say perfectly. Perfection doesn't exist. Okay. Don't say correctly also. You may not be right all the time. How many of you here attended the Vedic Wisdom Festival? Did you all notice I made a mistake in a statement there? For the first time in my life, I also didn't notice it. Because if I noticed that, I corrected it immediately. Instead of Duryodhana, I said Yudhishthira in one place. Yes. So someone noticed it and sent a message to Swamini. Please correct this in the video. She sent that message to me. Did this happen? I said, I don't know. If I knew it had happened, I would have corrected it there and then. Yeah, I generally don't make such mistakes, but I'm human enough. I'm human enough to make a mistake, isn't it?
It happened with Swami Chinmayananda also. With
Yeah.
Ram Lakshmana Bharata, he made a mistake.
Yeah, it
I
happens.
remember listening to
Yeah.
that.
Anyone can make a mistake. A slip of the tongue can happen anywhere. Does that negate 40 years of teaching? Oh yeah, mistake. You can't be right all the time. It's okay. So don't even say I'm doing everything correctly. You correct it. So before the videos are made public, we corrected it. So it's public now, by the way. Anyone who missed it can see, get them all. What I'm saying is, hey, this is life. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't mean you're careless about things. No, you're careful. You do what. If the result is important, you do everything to the best of your ability. With Ishvara Arpanam for the respect to the action, Prasada Buddhi with respect to the result. Therefore, you become bigger than the desire.